You're watching NappyCast by Jason Nappy Weather. I'm tracking the Saturday soaker as it moves through Maine right now in the Northeast, New England. Here it is. Let's look at radar so you can see all those rain bands coming up into southern Maine. Now, I've got the radar turned down out of gray Maine so you can see all the shower activity coming into southern Maine right now. It's been heavy up in Augusta, Rumford, the Carrabassett Valley's been getting in on it. This storm is just beginning to get its act together here. So we've got several more hours to go of this storm here down towards the North Shore, the New Hampshire seacoast, back towards Manchester, Rochester, and also up here in the county too. Some rainfall starting to move up down east. And up in the county in the western mountains is where the rain is not going to be as heavy today. But down east, the mid coast, Penobscot Bay, you're going to see rain today. It's really just up here, heading up towards the Allagash, where there's going to be a cutoff. Much like a nor'easter, but this is not a nor'easter. We do not have the wind strong enough for this to be a nor'easter, okay? So, not a nor'easter, but it has some similarities to it here. So, that's the radar look right now. Here's a look at the cloud cover once again. So, you see the swirl here going on. It looks like a nor'easter. Let me turn this over to black here. But without the wind being really strong, I'm just not going to call it a nor'easter. But it definitely has that look here. You're going to get a little comma shape as this storm is going to push up into the Gulf of Maine here. It's going to throw that moisture onshore, okay? So we'll get that somewhat east-northeast wind, but it'll quickly go northwest here. So it's more of a coastal storm, a coastal hugger than a nor'easter. Up here in Maine and New England, nor'easters, generally that term is reserved for when the wind starts to really crank and you get the wind to intensify, okay? So there it is. Here's the storm. Here's the swirl going on in the atmosphere on the water vapor imagery. It's going to throw all that moisture northeast. A storm down in the Gulf Coast, another soaker down here. This one's kind of cut off, but you see where that moisture is feeding here, and you've got the moisture feeding here. Okay, so two separate storms going on right now across the country. We'll talk about that one to the south a little bit in a little while here. Let's take a look at the forecast here. I want to show you that storm. Here it is passing through the Gulf of Maine. Here is your cutoff low pressure system. There's your storm pushing into the Gulf of Maine. And there's your coastal storm as it does push east. There it goes. I'll move this out of the way so I can show you that. And there goes the storm, gone by Mother's Day, okay? And then we'll talk about what's going to happen after that. We've got high pressure coming in, a nice ridge, and that's going to help to warm things up. So we get this westerly breeze that's going to warm us up Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday around the ridge of high pressure. It just barely squeezes in temporarily. Okay, so here's the look at the hour by hour forecast. Big green blob pushing through. Clear though by Sunday. So then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday looks nice. But then after that, we'll see what happens. Right now, some showers back in the forecast Thursday, Friday, and we'll see about next weekend. I will just do one weekend at a time right now, but I can tell you it doesn't look great next weekend. That I'll leave it at that. JasonNappyWeather.com for the full weather blog on the storm and the next 10 days. Now let's get into the hour by hour. I'm going to show you this. Here's the hour by hour forecast. It shows all that rain coming through. Now, in southern Maine, along the mid coast, down east, that's really the rain is going to be heavy. Okay, so you got that comma shape, right? That's going to be kind of churning the Gulf of Maine. So on the northwest side is where the atmosphere is going to destabilize. That's where there'll be some thunderstorms. That's where the rain will be heavy. So a couple of lulls, but then the storm starts to push through again. So let's get into the maps now, and I'll show you what's going on the next few days, next 10 days in the forecast here. So rounds of heavy rain. You see the rain, Portland, Lewis, Auburn, Eastport. Okay, not so much in Caribou. In Bangor, not so much. Minor flooding, and then it's all clear for Mother's Day. Big improvement tomorrow. It's going to be a great day to get outside, maybe take a drive, maybe take mom out, the whole family. It's going to be great. So for tomorrow, it's 54, mountains becoming clear. Then we warm up to the mid 70s before the showers return for next weekend. And then inland, it's clear on Sunday, a sunny sky, clouds back Monday, Tuesday, we clear out. Wednesday, 70s, mid 70s. A run for the 80s, southwest interior. And then we're going to be in the 60s with showers for next weekend. Along the coastline, it is 65 and sunny. Sunday looks great for mom. And then we're a lot of sunshine Monday. Tuesday, some clouds roll in, 60s. Now, we're going to have a sea breeze, so the temperatures are not going to jump up to the 70s or 80s along the coastline this week. And then showers return for next week. You can go to nappycast.com to get the latest forecast where you live. Make sure location is turned on.